Hello, so ako po si Jan Kyle V. Martin. Uh, so I will be reporting about introduction to C language, which is related po sa aking major na computer science. So under ng introduction to C language, uh, I'll be discussing about IDE or Integrated Development Environment, common data types, syntax, variable declaration, basic parts of C language which is yung program mismo, at common format identifiers. So integrated development environment or IDE, para po siyang editor for a program. So what it does, it helps you write a program itself under a particular programming language, which will then be interpreted by the IDE itself. So, para maintindihan ng computer mo kung anong programming language ang gamit nyo. So, under ng IDE, I have this suggestion, which is DevC. DevC++ is a free, full-featured integrated development environment distributed under the GNU General Public License for Programming in C++. So, kung gusto nyo pong mag-try ng programming under ng with the use of C language at C++, you can just search this in the Google Dev C++. Libre po siya. So, common data types. So, we have int or integer. Inside ng data type na to, it can only contain whole numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, we also have float. So, pagkakaiba lang ni float kay integer, it has decimal numbers such as 1.1, 2.2, 3.3, 4.4, 5.5, at char. So it only this one only contains single characters. So itong tatlo, this isn't the only data types kay C language. Ito lang yung usually ginagamit palagi. By the way, nga po pala, these data types are actually universal. That is to say, when it comes sa ibang programming languages, meron din silang tinatawag na integers at float na data types or char or string. Syntax. Kapag sinabi nating syntax, these are the grammatical rules of a particular programming language. Semicolons. So, C language, we have a rule that we have to end every statement with a semicolon. So, in a C program, the semicolon is a statement terminator. So, we have here two examples. This is a print function, hello world. Then, at the end of this statement, you can see the semicolon itself. So the semicolon signifies the end of a statement. So in the second example, this is another method to type in a print function. So dito naman, ang pagkakaiba, parehas sila ng output, pero ang pagkakaiba sa kanila is magkahiwalay sila ng line. So imbes na one line lang siya, dito magkahiwalay and then semicolon at the end of the statement. Kung wala yan, magkaka-error po yung program nyo. So hindi po siya tatakbo. Variable declarations. Dito naman i-explain ko yung mga we have rules kay C language. Yung mga bagay na dapat natin gawin at hindi dapat gawin. So number 1, it must not start with a number. So we have a rule here na hindi tayo pwede magsimula ng variable name declaration with a number itself. So in this example, you can see inside this main function, we have int 5 count. So it starts with the number itself at may lumabas na error. Valid suffix count on integer constant. So di po siya pwedeng gawing declaration. So instead, you can instead of 5 count, you can just put the number 5 at the end of the count itself. So count 5. So wala na po siya naging problema dito sa given example. So we have another example here. So this time naman, number lang siya. So lalong hindi po pwede yun. So nagkaroon po tayo ng error, expected identifier, or open parentheses before numeric constant. So kasi itong number 5, this is a value itself. It cannot be used as a variable kung number lang lalagay nyo. So instead of that, we can just, in this given example, there are actually different ways to solve that. Pero in this example, we also have 5, but with letters naman siya, hindi siya number. So this is a valid variable declaration. It's in this example. So case sensitive. So number 2, kapag sinabing case sensitive, it has to be specific yung declaration nyo. So I will show you these given examples kung bakit kaya kailangan maingat ka sa pag-type. So we have a declaration of num, int num equals to 5, printf %d, then num, ito yung output si number 5. So dito wala siyang naging problema kasi parehas sila ng nung pangalan mismo. It is both big letter N. So in this example naman, nagkaroon ng error. Error, num undeclared first using this function. Each undeclared identifier is reported only once for each function it appears in. So what this error message means is hindi ma-recognize ng computer nyo kung ano yung num na yun. Hindi po siya declared. At kung bakit? Ang pagkakaiba po nilang dalawa, itong isang num is a small letter n. So parang pagkakaiba po yan. Di makikilala ng program nyo. So it has to be both accurate para wala pong maging error. Just to add things. That's why it is also important po na to have a keen sight for this kind of details. So number 3, proper data type declaration. By this, we have here sa given example, integer na data type which a variable num. So pero inside kay variable num, we have 100.25. But we have a rule na kapag integer data type, ang pwede mo lang i-store sa kanya is whole numbers. But this is not a whole number itself, 100.25. So kapag in-output nyo po yan, doon di po siya magkaka-error sa compiler. Magkaka-problema po tayo sa output. So inilabas nyo lang is 100. So hindi po nasama si 0.25. It is because dineclare mo po siya as an integer. So it doesn't have it cannot store decimal numbers. So in this other example, instead of declaring an integer data type, we declared float for num. Num is equals to 100.25. So they both have a valid declaration of the data type at yung value. So kapag in-output nyo po yan sa print function, lalabas na po si decimal, si 100.25 and additional zeros. So, ito yung tamang declaration if you want to assign a value of float or decimals inside the variable. It has to be a float data type. So, another example, char letter. I- Kay C language, kapag nag-declare ka rin ng char na data type, it can only contain one character. But in this given example, we have A, B, C. So we have a total of 3 characters. So magkaka-error po yan. Multi-character, character, constant, overflow in implicit constant conversion. So nagka-error po siya. So in this example, instead of putting a value of A, B, C to this char data type, we can only put one, which is A. So wala na pong nag-produce na error. Number 4, variable naming. So, kapag nag-declare ka pa uh, ng variable name, kailangan nyo rin pong isipin um, kung ano yung gagamitin yung pangalan mismo. So, in this given example, we have two int num. So, we cannot actually use the same variable name over and over again unless uh, instead of explaining that, sabihin na lang natin na you cannot use the same variable name in this main function. It has to be different. So, nagka-error po siya ng redeclaration of num with no linkage. So, hindi po siya pwedeng ganun. So, instead of that, we can just, instead of both num, we can do num and num2 variable names. So, magkaiba po sila. It will not produce any error. So, number 5, naming variables are according to their purpose. So, I used to do this mistake din po nung first time pa lang po nag-program. Kapag nag-declare po ng variable, laging one letter lang. In this given example, A, B, and C, we have variables A, B, and C. So, wala naman po siyang error, pero magkakaroon po siya ng problema in the far future pag mahaba na po yung program nyo. Kasi mahirap po siya basahin. Like, masakit po sa mata in a way na di mo alam kung para saan ba tong variable. So, in this other example, instead of ABC, we declare variable, we are using a variable name na may related kung para saan pa talaga siya. So, isang tingin lang, so para sa ano siya, date, day equals to 12, month, and year. So, alam niyo po kaagad kung para saan yung variable na to. So, we have to also think of the variable names that you use based on purpose itself. So, basic parts of C language. So, in this given example, we always have to type this hashtag include less than symbol then stdio dot h and then greater than symbol. This is called a preprocessor. Kung in a nutshell, kung wala po siya, meron kayong functions na hindi pwedeng gamitin at tulad po ng print function. So, kapag wala po siya, mag-produce po ng error yung program nyo kung gumamit kayo ng function nitong preprocessor pero hindi po siya dineclare or sinama sa yung hashtag include. And then, we also, number 2, we have the main function itself. So, sa C language, there is always a main function. Hindi po siya pwedeng mawala. Kasi dyan po yun, natetest yung pinaka-output ng program itself. So magka-error po kapag wala po siya. So in this given example, number 3, int variable equals to 1. So na-dissect ko lang siya. So si int, this is the data type, then the variable name, um, this is the name itself of the name of the variable. Then yung equals na symbol, this is used to assign a value to a variable. So say 1 dito, this is called the value itself. It can be a whole number, a decimal, or any other data type as long as uh, nagmamatch po siya sa data type ng variable na ginagamit nyo. So at the end, semicolon, statement terminator po. And then we have printf. So um, you always have to type in the open and close parentheses here. Then yung quotation marks, double quotation marks doon. In this given example, si %d is called a format identifier. Then kalimutan ko tawag. Then after nun, si variable, ayun yung gagamitin yung um, variable for the output itself, which is mapupunta po yung output niya kay %d. So kapag tinap nyo po yun, lalabas po yung 1. Then yung semicolon again. So return 0, this is just an optional. So let us proceed. Common format identifiers. See, %d usually we use this for decimal or whole numbers. Pwede po siyang for decimals or whole number. Then %f para po sa mga float na data types na output. So decimal numbers lang pwede sa kanya. Kay %c, kay char, single letter, then %s, string, multiple letters, then %i, integer, whole numbers lang yung pwedeng i-output gamit nito. So, ayun na po yan. Thank you for listening.